What is up, Hipster Nation? What's going on, everybody? Just a reminder, we did start memberships on this channel, so if you want to hit that join button, build this community up. We also have super chats and super thanks. So when you're watching the video, make sure you go hit that super thanks if you want to, just see the channel grow. I will be showing what this channel it will be growing into. We want to build the community up. We want to get this channel out to as many people as we can. So just a reminder, make sure you stay in your lane or crash the damn thing. Here we go. And this is your boy Ray. Welcome back. Yes, it is a sunny 60 degrees in East Tennessee. Finally, we had some beautiful weather. Got some great news updates. Yes, the young kid, she passed her driving test today. So just wanted to give my daughter a shout out. So today we have some lefties losing it and The View losing it. We want to drop some truth bombs on The View. So we're going to let Stephen A Smith kind of tell his little truth bombs. Let's listen to this and get into it.
Week. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it doesn't matter. Even if you're a football team and you're in the NFL and say you're at the Super Bowl and you win by a field goal, does it mean you still win? Doesn't that mean you still win? You're still the winner? These people are just something else. And did you notice how she went, just criticizing completely the whole first sentence right off the bat, hoping that Stephen was going to agree to everything she just said?
It is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't.
It is a mandate. And listen to this.
Don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state.
Wait a minute. You was on your show last week saying you believe in common sense. You agreed with Trump on stuff. So, okay, you're a flip-flopper then. Man, this guy's more flip-flopping than there's flip-flops on the beach. I mean, come on, Stephen A. Smith. He don't like him when he's around these people, the left, and then when he's on his show or by himself or around Sean Hannity, he believes in common sense all of a sudden, and he believes in Trump. Just put the red hat on, man. It's not going to hurt you to be a believer.
He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020.
Thank you.
89% of the counties shifted to the right.
Whoa,
that's a mandate.
Exactly.
We can sit up there and play around.
That is a mandate, Joey.
Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year.
Did you see Sonny's face? She's looking down like, I got to read this stuff. She's fired. She's already on fire, man. Like, she is one of the most race-baiting, hating, black-hearted, insecure, just miserable people I've ever seen.
So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state.
Thank you.
And on top of it, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
She just said that, and he's saying this right to her face. Let's see how she reacts.
It's a different definition of a mandate.
So her definition of a mandate doesn't matter because it's Trump. So if it was Joe Biden or something, or say Kamala Harris, it would be, it was a mandate from the American people to put her in. She had the mandate. See how they push this stuff?
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad. We should continue to do that. No.
She couldn't wait. She had to jump in there, didn't she? Sonny, she just couldn't hold it back no more. It ain't been 2 minutes and she's already.
Don't continue to do it. Find a new strategy.
But do you think those groups, the black voters, the Latino voters, and the others that you mentioned, are they going to regret it soon?
Possibly. I think so. I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end, the point, I didn't like it. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction. I don't only talk to Cuomo.
Exactly. It wasn't just about him. Hang on just a second. Sorry, I'm back. Let's get back to this. I had to take care of something real fast. I apologize.
I did interview Eric Adams. I did interview Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I interviewed these people. I've talked to them, and I'm going to talk to some more of them too. And I'm going to say the same message.
Let's see.
What are you doing to win? I love Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I love Josh Green of Pennsylvania. Okay, I just interviewed Cuomo. I like him a lot. I want somebody to step up and recognize.
The governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, the one that says we allow boys in girls' bathrooms, Stephen.
Recognize that man in the Oval Office, whether you like it or not, is potent. He's coming and he wins. You got to find a way to beat him. This way is not the way that the Democrats.
Exactly. Let's see. Look, here she goes. Here comes Sonny. She's scratching her head. Look at her. She's just completely like, oh my God. I mean, she's ready to throw fireballs at Stephen.
Performance, because a CNN poll this week found that 52% of people disapprove of Trump's performance in office so far. So even though he may have won the general election by less than 50%,
voted for this.
52% disapprove of what he's doing.
Okay.
We're also seeing Republican voters at town halls opposing his executive overreach, giving Elon Musk the shadow presidency. Yet you said, quote, Trump is closer to normal.
Did you catch that? The shadow presidency. Like, she's going to throw those little things in there. And Stephen's so like, yeah, he just goes right along because he knows how she is. He knows that she wants to argue and have Stephen to agree with her. And if he doesn't, boy, it fires her up. Elon is not a shadow president. Elon is not a president. So when Joe Biden was president and he hired staff to do jobs, they didn't get voted in through Congress. So it's okay for them to do it, but not Trump. I don't understand the way they throw a fit. Well, Elon wasn't elected. Yes, we know he wasn't, but he was hired by the President of the United States. Also, we knew, as the voters knew, Trump would bring Elon and all these people on stage and say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Okay, so the American people stood up. Yes, we did mandate because we voted. Trump won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. I mean, here's the thing. If we didn't want Elon and Tulsi and all these RFK and all these people in these positions, I think that Trump wouldn't have won. Am I right? We wouldn't have voted for Trump. But he brought them on stage way before the election. And he told the American people, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And what happened? Trump, on November 5th, won the presidency.
Than what we're seeing on the left.
Yeah, I was talking about why he won the election. When I made that statement, I was talking about that was before the election.
That was
So
before the election.
I'm sorry, in the immediate aftermath of the election, I pointed out he was voted for because they considered him closer to normal than what the Democrats were spewing.
Thank you.
That was what I said
Normal.
at that moment in time. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is an entirely different matter altogether.
Right. Wow, because you don't have his money, his power, Stephen?
But he's got an inordinate amount of power.
Yeah.
Given to him by Trump.
Shut up,
scared the living
Sonny.
daylights out of folks and the approval ratings.
God.
Obviously, we pay
You're
attention
doing
to
about
that.
Trump.
But here's the bigger question. Who on the Democratic side are the American people pointing to and saying that's the person?
They
don't have anybody yet.
Well, we're
plenty.
6 weeks in.
They have money. Listen at her. They have money.
6 weeks
Yeah, they
in,
have Bill Gates.
Everybody said let him do what
Epstein
he's
Island
doing so we
visitor.
can see what's going on. So, and now people are saying, well, what are you going to do as a Democrat? Well, wait a minute now. Y'all didn't want to hear what we had to say as Democrats.
Big Mouth has to come in this situation.
because that wasn't what people voted.
I mean, it's like horses out of water trough. You know what I mean? It's disgusting.
For.
True.
So now we have a clear definition, and the American people will decide how they like what he's doing, because now it's affecting in a way that people were not anticipating. People who didn't think they would be affected, like the folks who work in the federal government, they never saw this coming.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry about that.
There was a lady they interviewed the other day that was at USAID standing out the door saying, I work from home. We were just doing research on the computer. I planned on staying here until forever and getting paid the American taxpayers' money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, excuse me. And that was her plans, to sit there and stay at home and work and get paid bukus of money off of the American people and do nothing. Well, sorry, it's time to go. You know what? This is not a free lunch program no more. They created that crap in the 60s. The kitchen is closed. So we got some oatmeal. Ukraine, we got some oatmeal. Democrats, we got some oatmeal. We'll give you some oatmeal. But the free lunch program, it's done with you people and these other countries.
People can make omelets. Everybody doesn't eat eggs.
That's right. They can eat the
Not a fan.
The
But I
oatmeal.
like chickens, but I'm not a fan of eggs for the mouth. Anyway, our thanks to Stephen A. Smith. Be sure to check out his interview with the.
So let's jump back over there. Let's see what these ladies are. They don't stop. You know what I mean? They don't stop. They don't stop. You know, they don't.
Well, Stephen,
Let's see.
welcome back.
It's good to be back.
You, over the weekend, you got the exclusive with Andrew Cuomo, who just announced over the weekend that he's going to be running for mayor of New York City. What did you take away from the time you spent with him, and why do you think he's mounting this comeback?
Well, I think the timing is perfect for him, particularly considering what Eric Adams is experiencing right now in terms of the DOJ stepping in to take over the case, basically to encourage the Southern District.
Like we need Cuomo in there in any kind of office.
There is something that Andrew Cuomo senses. Obviously, he's been out of.
That man had been accused for all kinds of stuff. Go look it up. I mean, not just from the COVID era, but some sick stuff. And even his brother got fired from a, news media, legacy media for, come on, man. Do you really want Cuomo back in New York?
Out of the game for 3.5 years in the aftermath of, sexual harassment allegations, 11 of them to be.
11 of them. Sexual harassment allegations. Yeah, I guess nobody's buying that because, they booted him out. So there's got to be something to it, right? I mean, I'm not accused. This is for entertainment purposes only, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button if you like this channel, if you like to see more videos like this. We just started membership, so hit that join. It's one rate, very cheap. It's like buying a cup of coffee. We have super chats and super thanks to give shout outs. And if you do become a member, you will experience some good community here. We're building this community. We're building this channel up. We will be doing membership live streams only. And you will be getting a swag bag if you're a 6-month member. So check it out. Hit that join button, guys.
Exact. He spoke about that with me yesterday.
What did he say?
He said.
So we kind of know who Stephen kind of runs with. You know what I mean? We all kind of knew that for a long time, but I don't think I want to be around somebody that's been accused 11 different times of harassment,
Said that, you know what?
Now, I remind you, just accused, not charged. So
He didn't point the finger at the ladies, but obviously he proclaimed his innocence. He felt it was a bit politicized, to say the least. And he said, but I dealt with what I dealt with, and I had to look myself in the mirror, recognize my behavior, recognize the fact that I had been a bit impatient, that I'd made a few enemies along the way, ruffled a few feathers. But he said, when you're a leader, that's how it goes sometimes. You're going to ruffle a few feathers, not talking about the sexual harassment allegations, but just in terms of the people that may not have been fans of his, that may have wanted to politicize it, to get him pushed out of office. He says he's learned a lot. He thinks that he's coming back better than ever, and he thinks that he's desperately needed in the city of New York because of the problems that exist.
He wants
with
to
crimes
be mayor,
crime in the streets, in terms of the price,
city?
Cost of living, things
And
of that
he thinks
nature.
he's
His
going to
number
become
one
governor
priority, he
again?
says, is safety, because when safety
President?
is not addressed, you can't do anything else.
I thought crime was down in New York.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Eric Adams says.
Crime down in New York.
Andrew Cuomo.
Crime down in New York. Yeah, because they took off.
Different.
Here, Sonny, let me give you a little education here. The reason crime is down is because the illegals are going home. They're deporting all the illegals. Guess who was doing most of the crime? The illegals.
Different lens. I would say this. You have to respect the governor that's a 3-term governor that would have been in a position to capture.
You don't have to respect anybody, especially somebody that did what they did during COVID.
A 4th term or run for president. So even though we might look at it from that standpoint.
So he just basically said it without saying it. That's Como's, that's his future he's going to try to do. He was a 3-term, whatever, governor. He's going to try to run for president. You think anybody's really going to stand up and follow that man?
He's looking at it from the standpoint, I know what it takes to lead a state. I'm looking at the city within the state that I govern 3 separate terms.
Right.
And the bottom line is I don't like what I'm seeing. So that's the reason why he's in the polls right now. And you can't argue with that.
Well, let me ask you this.
Ahead in the polls.
You mentioned it briefly, but there are calls for the current mayor, Eric Adams, to step down.
But she don't like him because she feels like he's on
federal
Trump's
prosecutors
side.
to drop corruption charges against him. Now, when you spoke.
Well, hang on, corruption charges. I think maybe before I open my mouth, I would think of where my family is and the biggest RICO case, bigger than the mob in New York City. Now, when you have when your husband or your, whatever is in the biggest RICO, bigger than the mob RICO case in history in New York City, I don't think I'd be trying to spit some of this, stuff out towards Eric Adams.
With the former governor, who is an attorney as well.
Yes.
Did he indicate that Adams may have cut sort of this quid pro quo deal to work with Trump on immigration in exchange for dismissing those?
Did he tell you anything so we can blast it all over the View and we can push false narratives and we can do fear mongering and we can get Eric Adams out of there because he's a traitor to us? That's what she's saying. He's a traitor. She's one of the most controversial people I've ever heard of and seen. And here's another thing. Also, I will quote one thing. If it ain't controversial and you ain't stirring stuff up, you ain't telling the truth, really. Because when you tell people the truth you're around, usually it gets controversial. People don't like it. It hurts feelings and stuff. Think about that. And a lot of people don't even go to your channel or don't even watch your stuff. And they'd have to actually be subscribed to unsubscribe. So, it is what it is. So.
He gave zero indication about that. And this was the interesting part about it. He gave the impression he doesn't have to go that route in order to beat Eric Adams. He thinks he can beat Eric Adams or anybody else in the race based on merit. And then when you take it.
Oh, so he's done it before. So he thinks automatically he can beat him, even though he don't think people ain't going to remember his name as soon as he puts his hat in the ring.
To account Governor Hochul and her decision not to remove Mayor Adams from office. Obviously, this is what I talk about when I talk about
they're all
sports,
traitors to these people.
I love the competition. See, we can point to all of those things, just like Eric Adams was asked about Governor Cuomo and what he endured. He said, folks, we'll address that on the campaign trail. The citizens will do what they're going to do. He's ready to go at Cuomo. Cuomo is
just like they said, Kamala should have been elected, not just pushed in that position. They should have been an open, debate. They should have been open for Democrats to run to see who got the delegates,
was ready to go at him. It's competition. May the best man win.
Interesting.
Well, let me ask you, you briefly touched on, obviously, the 11 sexual misconduct allegations.
Uh-huh. But the fake Republican has to speak up so they don't make the whole show look like it's completely left.
Against him and how he responded to that. But another sort of issue he's going to have to deal with is the nursing homes during COVID. Believes that he underreported deaths and was slow to respond. Do you think he will take that on directly on the campaign trail?
I don't think he has a choice.
Yeah,
because
he'll have to answer.
And if I asked, I know the public's going to be asking before they go to the polls to decide who they're going to vote for.
Exactly.
Likely between him and Adams. He knows that was a situation he couldn't avoid.
And you think they forgot about that? You think those people's family that's dead, you think they forgot about that?
He answered the questions linked.
Wouldn't even let them visit their own corpses, the family members that had passed. Wouldn't even let the family see their bodies or anything. You think New York's going to forget that?
in a lengthy fashion, I might add. But in the event, in the end, he knows he cannot run for those issues. Those two things are things that are going to come up on the campaign trail. You know, the under.
I'm sorry, that is his plan. He does plan to come on.
He does plan.
Good.
Yeah, he is planning to come. Of course, I mentioned that. You know, I
Of
mentioned
course,
you.
it's all left wing. They're gonna get out there.
Let's talk about you for a minute. Your name was recently floated as a potential presidential candidate in 2020.
Yeah, we're not listening to that. He's not going to be if you guys really want to see some messed up stuff, here, let's go to this one.
Karine Jean-Pierre made history
Karine
during President
Jean-Pierre.
Biden's
She made history.
administration as the longest-serving female press secretary.
Why did she make history, Joey? Because she was the first. And what did they say? Did you notice Caroline Leavitt or any Trump or people or anybody come out and say she is the first youngest White House press secretary there is? No. But when KGP did, she was like, they all come out and said, we got the first black lesbian longest White House press secretary. I mean, they make everything, first thing they do is DEI. Everything is about race and gender to them. I mean, that's what it is. It's all DEI.
As well as the first black
It's all.
female
See?
person, human being,
That's
first immigrant.
Told you.
First only
That's all they care about, guys. That's it.
LGBTQ
See?
plus person
See? LGBTQ, everything.
She's everything.
Yeah.
Told you.
And
That's
we're
all
thrilled
they
that
care
she's here
about.
with us today for her first post-DC interview. Please welcome Karine Jean-Pierre.
Thank you.
Oh, they treat her like she's a god because I mean, it's sickening. You know what I mean? It's truly sickening. It's just the point of, really? Like, that's disgusting, I mean, I don't get it, man. I would think that they would have better sense than
Joy
that,
has the first question, but when Stephen was leaving, she said, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. I disagree with you.
Yes, I do.
And I was curious, and so that's why I was curious.
I do on the
Oh my
mandate,
God.
on Donald Trump and his administration having a mandate. And we have to be super mindful and careful of this because he does not have a mandate.
Yes, he
And
does.
what I mean by that
Really?
is if you look at the numbers, just look.
So she passed Stephen A. They said, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. We have to be careful on this. No, Stephen A. spoke the truth on that matter.
At the facts.
She's not. The facts
He
are
won with
Trump's in the White
smallest
House.
margin of the popular vote since the 19.
It don't matter. Like I said, if two football teams are playing against each other and one wins by a field goal, do they not win? Doesn't that team still win? Doesn't matter if it's by 1 vote, 7 million votes. And that's what she's neglecting. She's trying to go percentage instead of saying, oh, he beat her by 8 million votes,
19th century.
These
There
people
was
will
no
do
hotel,
anything
meaning
and
that
say
it is
anything for
The
excuses.
house is at a razor thin,
No, it ain't.
and he's on his way in the first 100 days to be the most unpopular president
Really?
in their first 100 days.
Hang on, wait a minute.
That is not.
She was on a podcast the other day talking about, oh, I've been doing self-health care and staying at home. I ain't watched no news or nothing. I ain't watched nothing. So now I'm calling her out. She's a liar. Because now how would she know any of this stuff if she hasn't watched anything, Because she claimed she hasn't kept up with anything. She's just been recouping and recovering because she's got paid so much money as the first black LGBT foreign whatever, PTQRS bullshit, person to serve that position. I mean, she's DEI. Lady, do you not have enough sense to realize that is why you got that position? That is why Kamala Harris was vice president. That's why, I think Biden backed her and threw her in there because they stabbed him in the back. I mean, they put that knife and twisted it. Nancy Pelosi did. And the Democrats and the Hollywood elite, but we know they can bring out every singer, every actor, every movie star. Where did it get them? Nothing but a P. Diddy list.
Not a mandate.
In 70 years.
In 70
The
years.
word man is in there.
Doesn't matter. He won. He is in
But I
there.
guess the question is, does it
Oh,
matter
Joey
if
can't
he
stand
has
it.
both houses of Congress?
Trump derangement syndrome is real, guys. Listen to them. They are completely melting down because they melt down every day just knowing that Trump is president and they can't do nothing about it. If they think, hey, I got something for you, ladies. If you think you can do a better job, hey, have at it. Go run for president. See if you have to talk to Russia. See if you have to talk to China. See if you have to talk to all these people. I mean, of course, we know if they had it their way, Kamala, what the position we would be in right now, it would be awful.
In the White House.
It does matter because right now we have what we're seeing in this administration is he's taking a wrecking ball to the government.
Exactly. We voted for that, lady. Do you not understand? We knew he was going to do that. And we're getting more than what we voted for. We knew he was going to take the government and tear it up. He needs to get those useless people that work from home and all that and the illegals out of this country.
And what that means, and so that people really understand as folks are sitting here and watching.
Here we go. Listen to this.
There are folks who have been fired from the federal government, and now, is our water safe? Right? Is our food safe?
Right.
Food.
The skies.
Or the sky, right?
Are the skies? I mean, they will say anything. They're going to push it. Is our water safe? What are you talking about, lady? Is our food safe? Why? Because how would they even know if they're doing their job from home? How would they know if our food was safe, our water was safe, our sky was safe? And they done come out with reports and told the truth about who they actually fired and how many people, and it didn't affect the people that were in those main positions that needed to be there. So this is another, great example of fear mongering, and they're pushing out to, to these people on ABC's viewers, and, this is how they get them to believe their bogus stuff.
But in the skies, right? We have to worry about getting on a plane. Is that going to be safe?
There's
Really?
going to be a pandemic.
Is there going to be a pandemic? And
Oh
not only
my
that,
God.
folks who need their Social Security check.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put, the qualified people in those positions on airplanes instead of DEI. Let's not hire on color. Let's hire on merit. Let's hire on, if you're qualified to do the job. The highest person, no matter what color you are, let's put those people in those jobs, because I can guarantee you, if you go on who's most experienced and best for the job, you're not going to have any situations. But if you put a DEI hire in a lot of those positions, guess what? They're not going to know what to do. And if they do, and if something happens, then they're more likely to not get the job done, because why? They were not qualified to start with. They think, oh, let's DEI all this up. That, in their mind, they think that means automatically qualified to do anything. Oh, I'm this color or that color. I'm automatically qualified to fly a plane or, run the government, run NASA, do whatever. That's not how it works for me, anyways. And like I said, this is just my opinion. This is for entertainment only, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Are you going to get it?
Yeah.
I mean, that is real. And they're doing it without concern.
I feel sorry for this lady's
They
kid.
don't care.
And that is something that we.
She has a
I
kid.
I'm
understand-
pretty sure people didn't vote for those things.
Right, because where's the economy? What happened to, we're going to bring prices down? We saw.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. Hey, eggs are so expensive. You know what? If Joe Biden wouldn't have signed that paper right before he got out of office and had over 100,000 chickens killed and stuff like that, maybe the price of eggs wouldn't be that expensive. Maybe, maybe it takes a little longer than 30 days to get all of your 4 years of mess and stuff back on track to actually, fix this economy. They think that Trump can just take a magic wand. Everybody in their right mind with common sense knows it's going to take at least a year or so to get this economy working, because they trashed it. It was a dumpster fire. They set this country on fire by giving out money to other countries and all these, LGBT comic books in this country and Sesame Street, over here in this country. And it takes a little bit longer than, you can't just snap your fingers and prices fall out the bottom and everybody's good.
Yeah.
The American people are going to be paying for that. Yeah. And it's.
Are you guys not the American people? See, they don't even consider themselves the American people. They're like, oh, you can take my tax money. You can send it overseas. You can send it to Ukraine. We don't care. Bull crap. If you was to put on the tax form 2 boxes, check 1 box if you want your money to go overseas into all this nonsense, or you want your money to stay in the U.S. and come back to you or to help people in the United States. Guess what? I guarantee you no one in their right mind would check the box where their money and their taxpayer is sent overseas. They'd want to keep it right here in this country and come back to them. Like I said, the free lunch program, they started in the 60s. That shit ends. The kitchen is closed.
It's going to increase. If you look at car prices, if you could look at food prices, all of that is going to go up. And
only if you're trying to sell us cars from outside the country. The tariff stuff will make people come into this country, build the economy up, and we will have a better life for it.
Foreign countries are not paying for that. We are paying for that. It's
Are we going to be part of NATO?
Are we going to be? And look, it's a more.
Who cares? We can defend ourselves. And here's another thing. I prefer paying for something a little bit more expensive. I would pay $20 an egg just to watch Donald Trump and Elon Musk and them tear down those bullshit government jobs. And nothing towards the people in them, but man, we know why they're there. They're on TV protesting. They say it. We just want to stay at home, and we're scared of COVID. They feared us. They fear-mongered us so much that we're scared to go outside, and we deserve to sit at home and make $200,000 a year or more and do nothing. Yeah, I don't think so.
Ironic policy. It is. But let's be clear. He said he was going to do that during his election.
Yeah, and he's doing it.
And this is.
And people still put him in office.
Chaos.
What does that tell you?
Chaos. But we cannot forget, and we have to start asking the hard
This
questions.
is fun doing this stuff.
What is happening right
I
now?
love these videos.
This is a 5-alarm fire.
Come on, guys.
So
Hit that join
Let me
button.
follow up on something else.
Become a member.
And do you think the Democrats should walk out tonight?
You hang out
Look, the
on,
Democrats
member
have
live streams only.
a couple questions that they need to ask themselves. The one is, who are they? Who are we as a party? What are we fighting for? And are we meeting the moment? Because these moments are not normal.
I don't think they know who they are.
It is we have to have a sense of urgency.
Keep
as we
running,
move forward.
Tampon
And we cannot
Tim,
do
and,
it
Kamala.
the way that we've had in the past. We
Yes.
just cannot.
That's right.
Because
And
this
so-
is not normal.
This is not normal.
And it's a
This is not
5-alarm,
normal.
as you say.
It is a 5
Oh,
alarm.
so now they're saying it's not normal. This party's not normal. Really? After they pushed all this crap that the White House told them to push? All these false narratives and this LGBT and DEI and girls in men's sports, that's not normal? Y'all are saying that's not normal? But you pushed it for years.
Fire. And if we do not act as if it is a 5-alarm fire, look, he's not just coming after vulnerable communities anymore.
Oh
That
my
was
God. Here we
obviously
go.
something that is incredibly problematic.
Here we go.
He's trying to make every other community outside of the vulnerable community vulnerable themselves, if that makes sense.
No.
No,
Because
it
of
don't,
what
'cause you're
he's
an
going
idiot.
after and what he's doing, because it's affecting all of us.
That's why if you ever watch her interviews of briefings in the White House, she talked in circles. She never could tell an answer. She told more lies. She kept looking down at that big old folder binder. This is the kind of nonsense that I bet her and Kamala had great conversations because both of them's like air between the ears. It's just
all of us.
Education.
Education.
something
And
you don't
we care
have.
about education.
I really
My
miss
Lord.
you, know?
You can go to school. That doesn't mean you're educated.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Give her a break.
Yeah.
She has
Give her a break. That's the problem, y'all.
You
Baby
left the
them.
briefing room, and we do miss you. The
No,
Trump
we don't.
administration has made some
never said
interesting
anything.
changes, including barring the Associated Press from key press areas for not using
Good.
the term Gulf of America instead of Gulf of Mexico.
boy.
Hang on.
And
Are you going to tell Joey, though, that Biden banned 400 press members because they were right-wing press. They were Fox News. They were, they were the other side. They wasn't the left. Are you going to say that? Are you going to tell the real truth here, Sonny? Are you going to sit and say, oh, yeah, Biden also, he banned 400 members of the press because he wanted it all his narrow. Because if you ever watch her press briefings, there's only one Fox News, two Fox News, Peter and the girl in there, and the rest are all left, and there ain't that many, like 12 people. He banned all the other people. You look at Trump's press room, there's hundreds of them standing there and can't even get in there. Every different side.
And they've taken over control of press pool coverage for the first time, I think, in over 100 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What is your view of what is happening? And do you have any advice for the current press secretary?
So here's the thing. The Associated Press, if you look at the Associated Press, they are the oldest wire in the press briefing room.
And the left.
And you think about journalists, you think about the reason they're in the press briefing room, you think about the reason they're in the pool. It's called the protective pool. There are 13 members of the pool. I'll try not to get too wonky here.
13.
And their job is to provide unbiased information to the American people because the American people deserve that. And when the White House press team decides to step in and override the White House Correspondents Association, who they have the job of doing that, then what we're looking at.
She just said it right there. They have the job to do that. They have the job to do that. Did you hear that? They have the job to do that. So, Sonny, I think you need to listen instead of talking.
At a state TV.
A little bit of more
what
of
we're
this
looking at
and
is
not
what Russia
too much of this.
is doing. What we're looking at is what North Korea is doing. And we are doing that. They are
Wait a minute, North Korea. But you're not going to tell about Ukraine, about how Zelensky has, completely shut down TV news outlets except for the ones that's on his side that he has made report only his way and his narrative. You ain't going to report and tell that Zelensky, Ukraine's president, has put the press people in jail, even American press, in jail, and you ain't going to say how he called martial law and stopped the elections and stopped their constitution so he could stay in power because he likes making money. You can follow me on Instagram, Rumble, and Facebook, and YouTube, Ray's Motor Life.
hacking the fiber of the freedom of the press. They are destroying it because they want to be covered in a friendly way. Look, I was in that position for 2.5 years.
A friendly way.
It is an exercise.
And you took no questions, but maybe 3 or 4 from Peter Doocy the whole 4 years. You guys went back and forth, yes, but you called on your left. You guys were told who to pick. Biden even got caught with the pamphlet with the pictures of the reporters and their names, who to pick, because they had pre-questions already for him.
Did in the press briefing room, what the president did when he took questions from the press, it is an exercise of democracy. And we have to remember that when the press briefing room was televised, it's not just televised here.
I love this stuff, man.
States.
Come on, you got to laugh about it. It's so funny. These people are just...
People are wondering...
And if this makes you mad and hurts your feelings, maybe you don't belong here.
What is it that we want to do? And it is an...
I'm not making fun of them. I'm critiquing and, I don't judge anybody, guys. Please. I'm serious. Like, honestly, I don't judge. I critique videos and critique things, and I love to watch these people melt down because they have no common sense. I'm a conservative, guys. Bottom line, I believe in common sense. I was raised in common sense. My children, I raised them with common sense. So,
exercise of democracy. It is the cornerstone of democracy. The freedom of the press is the fourth estate, and we are supposed to be leading that as the most powerful.
We are. Trump's leading every bit of it. You seen the other day.
Your boss, President Biden, you were asked recently at Harvard about sort of the onslaught that you guys faced after he had a very bad debate performance.
You were asked about his mental decline.
Another Biden aide said the party lost its mind.
Because they lied.
Do you believe
they
that
covered
Joe
it up.
Biden would have won if he had stayed in?
No.
A follow-up to that.
No.
Do you think Kamala Harris would have had a better shot had she had more time?
So look, I was asked a question. I answered it honestly, and how I felt at the moment. I was the one that was going to the podium almost every day.
I wonder when her book's coming out about Joe Biden's decline. And remember now, she's the one that said Joe Biden was running circles and doing cartwheels around her. She said, I can barely keep up with him. Now, she's what, 30-something? I'll give her that. Young. She's young. She's maybe early 30s. she could barely keep up with Joe Biden, but I mean, come on, look at him. I mean, really? So she's going to lie about that. What else is she going to lie about? I mean, she's, you know, I'm waiting for her book to come out like Jen Psaki did or went to MSNBC. You know, I'm waiting for her to move over to one of those media channels so they can push her propaganda too. And they'll pay her millions of dollars for lies or, you know, that because she ain't going to tell the truth.
What I saw. But I also, I can't speculate.
See?
I don't know what would have happened. And anybody who says they do, they don't really know.
Yeah, we do.
And so I don't want
Donald Trump won. No matter who would have been in there.
No
No matter who he would have ran against. I believe the country was tired of the baloney, the lies, because the left they didn't go to the top of the mountain. Man, they jumped off. With all this DEI and all this stuff, and that's all they cared about, and that's all they pushed and worried about. They told you not to believe your lying eyes. Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe what you see. And they thought the American people was stupid. I mean, really? That's why Donald Trump won. That's why the American people stood up and said, we want somebody that's going to be honest with us. We want somebody to take a wrecking ball to the government and get rid of the lies and the corruption. That's why he hired Elon and Doge. That's why they're going through everything. That's why they need to stop with, you know, all them programs, because they are ripping the American people off. And we're allowing them to do it, guys. We're sitting right here because we cannot organize enough because we got lazy. We got comfortable. America has got comfortable on TV ads and convenience stores and malls and oh, we can't live without this product or that product. We got to have this. Every other commercial is advertising for you to buy something or medical or pills because the pseudopharmaceuticals are wanting you to, you know, live longer and this is best for you. This is best for you. No, take this. We're buying shit we don't need. Wake up, guys.
Idea. Right now, again, 5-alarm fire. We need to.
It is a 5 o'clock alarm fire. You guys are a dumpster fire.
The Democratic
Keep running the way you're running.
Answer those questions that I put forth. Who are we and what are we fighting
how do
for?
we meet the
And
moment?
how do we meet
Okay.
the moment?
Press secretary.
So it's not okay if Elon Musk asks, hey, put 5 things you done down last week, but it's okay if they ask, who are you? What are you fighting for? What do you believe in? We're going to stop that right there, guys. I just wanted to do that and say, you know, this is for entertainment only. I enjoy doing these critique videos. I love critiquing these things. I'm not judging anybody by far means. I have friends that are Democrats. And you know, some are wackadoodles and some ain't. But that doesn't mean that it stops me from speaking to them or, you know, as long as they don't try to push their values and stuff into my life and make me believe what they believe. And I don't do that to them. I'm a conservative. I don't push what I believe on them. They don't have to believe what I believe, and they don't have to live by my values. Now, should we stop being friends because we disagree on things? No. That's just makes no sense to do that. So, but anyways, don't forget, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe if you like the channel. Until the next video or live stream, we'll see you. Just want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my followers, everybody that's been watching the shorts, the videos, the live streams. And remember, we do have memberships now, so hit that join button, or we have super chats or super thanks. So I just want to say thank you for stopping by, checking my channel out. If you'd like to see this community grow, hit that join button. So until next time, stay in your lane or crash the damn thing.